disrupt our hotel. But then that's when we got into the gist of the whole thing and how many workers and whatnot were gonna be coming in. So we started looking, and we figured, hey, this is not a bad business. We've seen what some of the camps around in and around charging. We said, well, we can't charge that. That's just way too much. Let's see if we can make this work. We at least break even and make maybe even a 6% return on it. So that's where we're started at. You know, came in, had a quick discussion with Crystal on you know, what are the rules and regulations where we can actually put this facility, and we identified the one spot, and we'll show you here in the presentation. And can we get it going?
It keeps kicking me out.
Oh. Try it?
Well, I could try it to see how long it lasts.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is the CAM project presentation. It's very simple. There's a need for the lodging facilities as Sandford has started to outline. There's 40 to 60 workers currently working on a hospital project. And we've asked some of them, and they are experiencing, this is their words, experiencing lack of reasonably priced suitable temporary housing. Additional crews are expected to begin August 2014. 40 to 60 additional crew members are expected in the early fall of 2014. By the spring of 2015, which is not that far away, there's anticipated 160 to 220 workers are expected to be on that site. So as you can see, there is a definite need. The Peavine Inn and Suites as an example, I worked there. They were full capacity beginning January 2014. That's kind of when they started getting going there. We've been turning away long-term guests because we can't have them for more than a month at a time, because people that booked early in advance, now these guys come in, so we can't really accommodate them for really long terms. There's no sign of slowing at all. 45% as compared to last year, we were booked at percent capacity. Right now we're booking 75%. So I'll just pull it back up. But as you can see in this slide when I get it up.
That's what we hired Kelly for.
Oh.
You earned your money today there, Kel.
Have that we don't have your presentation in here?
No, we don't.
Okay.
So by the spring of 2015, 160 to 200 workers are expected to be on site. As I said, Peavine Inn and Suites, we are at 95% capacity most weekdays. We're usually at anywhere from 60 to 75 and even full capacity on weekends depending on what's happening in the town. So they come in, they leave for the weekend, they come back Monday, basically is what they've been doing with us. For the camp facility that we're contemplating, there'll be no attached restaurant facility, so we won't be competing directly with any of the restaurants in town. We're anticipating 2 to 4 dorms depending on how much people we need this jam in there. 24 to 30 months is the length of the time. So we're anywhere from 30 to 100 rooms is where 100 rooms would be the max for us. 30 rooms is probably going to be 60-ish, maybe 70 rooms probably is what we'll probably end up having. There's no guarantee from Graham Construction or any guarantee at all that they're going to stay in our facility. So it's open competition town.
Graham Construction's the outfit that's building the hospital.
Yeah, Graham Construction is the general contractor. So they sub out basically all the tin work, drywalling, electrical, plumbing, absolutely. So these guys will be coming in tranches of probably 12 to 15 at any given time. But then it just starts to add up, right? And like with us, it's not like these guys are actually just going to stay in one particular spot, because they come in, like I say, in different tranches. Like they might be coming in for 30 days and then they're gone. Okay, so there's really no guarantee. Like we're taking a big risk here because this facility is not cheap. They don't give them away. So we're hoping that we could at least run at a 50% capacity rate. Hopefully 60, and that's when we kind of make some money. But there again, we don't want this facility to be delayed anymore. It's been on So that was our intent. You know, I realized there were some objections to it here on the, I forget the date it was. I was actually meeting with the bank when I found that out. So that didn't really help us, kinda, you know. And same thing with, when we were trying to, organize for some trucks and things like that, cause we were hoping to be on the ground now, fixing things, getting things ready already. We actually had the town come out here just the other day when Vern, to see where we could, get the water and sewer and things like that, all set up, and basically kinda telling them the things that we wanna do. Maybe I could just jump into it now, which I am, but, where we wanna put the camp, can you slide?
Yeah. Just basically what, you guys see the camp report, just basically what they look like, the inside of one, pretty good picture there. Here's the location of the town, you can see on the.
Anyways, we're gonna be directly west of the hospital project. Almost in line with them. You guys will see the lift station that's just right to the north.
So our facility would be at the very bottom right there.
Yeah.
And this is a close-up of it. So,
There is a drawing in the application
Yeah.
on page 71.
See, this one here, I believe this is actually out of date. Because I was looking at the map that I got from Crystal here. I think, well, sorry, like on I, it's institutional. That's actually where we're gonna be putting it.
This is it.
Right here.
So this is where the camp is going?
Yeah, see on the slide, on here, the institutional is actually directing to on this slide, but, that's the one we found. This is I'm assuming the updated map.
Well, this is from the one.
Yeah. So which would, you know, we're assuming the map
That's
that
the
we
most
use. Yeah.
updated one.
Okay. So anyways, there's the hospital project. We're actually proposing to put it here. We're actually going a little bit higher over here just because of the manhole, just the same cost, just for the water and sewer. There's if you guys go by, and you know, I'm sure some of you guys have, with the hotel, you'll see there's a big mound of dirt here. We're proposing to burn this whole area here, because we wanna try and make it as nice as we can. You know, who knows what's gonna happen in 2 years. We're gonna be developing this in the next little bit, probably, you'll probably be seeing my face in here again, probably in a month's time, because we wanna do a bunch more stuff here. So we wanna make that as attractive as we can, as much as you can with a trailer, right? We know what trailers are, we know what it's there for, but we're gonna actually try and make it as presentable as we can, okay? It's not like we're just gonna slap it there and it's gonna be there forever, it's not. Because we don't want it there, we actually have some plans in here for professional building that we will put on as soon as the trailers are gone, okay? So that's our plan, like hopefully it'll act as a sound barrier, especially if we do put a professional building up or even some housing, so it'll deflect the noise and things like that. So we're hoping, depending on how much grass you can cut, you know, obviously if you build a berm, you wanna make sure that you're able to cut the grass at the same time. So you don't want it like a 3-to-1 slope, you want probably a little bit lesser than that. And hopefully get it up to maybe even 10 feet high, depending on how much material we have there. So I know there are some concerns on aesthetics, so hopefully that's gonna help out a bit. So that in itself, I guess, is kind of what we plan on doing.
Okay. Anybody have any questions?
I guess just the setback, Brian, probably list the setbacks, yard setbacks, parking, so that's all meets.
They're all in the land use bylaw.
Okay, so that meets all our, okay.
So how many rooms are you looking at? I'm looking at your camp, you have 2 camps, right?
Yes.
One is 44,
Yes.
so 2 will be 88? Is that it?
Not exactly.
Not exactly, okay.
Yeah, we're looking at different camp configurations, so we're looking at a Jack and Jill, 44-man, or a VIP style, which would be a 30-man camp, or a 38-man camp. So we're looking at two camps. We'll bring in one and we'll phase in a second, and if there's a need, we'll phase in a third. Yeah, we don't want to compete too And us included, because we have a hotel right on site, and we don't wanna
Okay.
take them away from our hotel and put them there. This is just extra rooms that, this is the overflow that the town probably is not gonna handle, for most likely it's not
So
gonna
if
handle.
just for me to be clear, one camp will be 44,
Yes,
and the other one will be what?
30.
30, okay.
and then maybe an additional 30 or 38, yeah.
So the additional one, you will apply for the development permit, because now you have a request for 2 development
Yes.
permits,
Yes.
right? And so for one, it will be 44 rooms, and the other one about 30 rooms.
30.
Okay, just to make sure. So we have, in the form that you filled out, 50 stalls, parking stalls,
Yeah.
right? How would that fit in with 74 rooms?
Well,
I'm just for clarification.
yeah, we have a general contractor that's actually set up these sites for people before, Rob Jacobson. He's done a number of them, and he said basically what you're bringing in, if you get 100-man camp in, you should have 50 stalls. He said, and that works perfect, like, you know, cause you're gonna have guys coming in and out. You know, if we have any overflow parking, they could certainly park in our parking lot, like, across the way, so any anticipated shortfall on the parking end, you know, shouldn't be an issue. Plus, there's a cost to that, cause we got, install plugs, things like that, so. There's be additional lighting, parking stall plugs, gravel, aggregate, boy, there's a number of things that would kind of go on and on, so we're trying to at least keep it to a respectable level. And like I say, when I talked to Robbie, he said if you have 100 rooms, 50 stalls is all you need.
Brian, how does that fit in with our current parking around town with our other outfits? Is it like a 2-to-1 kind of thing like that?
The land use bylaw says, and this goes with hotels, motels, is what we picked it off.
Yep.
It's 1 stall per unit, per sleeping quarters. So you'd be required, if you follow the land use bylaw, to provide 77 or 74 stalls.
Yeah.
So,
See, there, you know, you could kind of see the conundrum we're in, cause we're gonna bring the additional, like the 44, which we're fine with. And if there's no need for it, we're not bringing in another one, so to spend that extra cash to, get it that much bigger, doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, cause we're running on a real skinny margin here.
Yeah. Brian, there is, I believe, a provision in there, that if you have inadequate parking, if you have a formal agreement with a neighboring business to utilize theirs. Okay, and you've indicated that obviously it's your guys' project, they can use the parking at the hotel.
Yeah.
Would we need a letter for that? Like, I mean, just to make everything all formal, I mean, that's just paperwork.
I think that would be fair. So that we have clear indication that there is room
Adequate
for
parking.
adequate parking.
Yeah, and then that takes care of that.
Yeah.
I just have one more question.
if I don't mind, Chairman, out of the 44 room camps you're starting, how many parking stalls did you plan on building for them?
Well, we're gonna have the parking stalls ready, like, right away.
How many though? For
50.
50?
Yeah.
So you're gonna have above,
Yeah.
so you wouldn't need the letter
Until they
until the
have-
second stage or whatever, the second, third.
Yeah. We're thinking, just by monitoring their work, staff coming in, and it looks like it's pretty close to what they're saying it's gonna be. They're a little bit behind, about 2 weeks. So we're thinking, come the end of September is when we should have a really good idea of what the threshold is gonna be. So we're thinking if as long as we could get it in before winter time, then we will. But if we don't, we're not gonna be building in the winter time. It's just too many things that go wrong in the winter time. We'll have a real good idea. Probably even. But yeah, if we need a letter or something like that, absolutely.
Yeah, for, like Brian said, for the second stage, when you would need that,
Yeah.
that would, I think, would alleviate the parking concern of it.
Since you're approving the 2 development permits, if you approve the two development permits, then I think we would need a subject to,
Okay,
so
yeah,
that.
you're right, because then that would be the,
Part of the condition, so that
yeah,
we don't.
and then, yeah, we can make that part of the condition, and then you can just get that to us more
Mhm.
later in the meeting. Ron?
Just one other question, a length, do we have a time period that,
Well, we have an
Let's start
estimate, we have an estimate on how long we're gonna have the.
the camp?
Yeah, between 24 and 30 months.
That's it.
You know, that's kinda where it's gonna be at, not kinda, it is, cause we know as it starts to tail off, we'll probably just take one of the facilities out if we do have the two, and then put it elsewhere. Like, we do have some other plans for it, we got some stuff there that we might be doing for Penn West and Murphy, just north of us, so, we're trying to coordinate as best we can, but if there's no need for a facility there, we will take out. So like I said, we have other plans for that lot, other stuff.
We don't wanna make it a permanent thing, we wanna develop it.
Yeah, I was just wondering if it's gonna be,
Yeah, it won't
just for the length of the
Pretty much.
hospital.
But like I say, there again, it's all gonna be dependent on, the workers, right? So, you know, sure, if it does go, 2 years or 2.5 years, maybe those last 6 months, we don't need that many. Cause obviously the initial, you know, like the steel work and things like that are all gonna be completed. The peak, it looks like it's gonna be 2015 of next year this time, so. And that, you know, Graham's guess is anywhere from 200 to 300 workers, dependent on if they fall behind. If they fall behind, then they're gonna bring additional, people in, and then it could be 300. But then that'll only be for a portion of 2015, and then it slacks off. So,
Just enough until they get it back on schedule.
yeah, absolutely.
Should there be a time period, like a expiry date of some sort, whether it's?
Great question.
That's totally up to you, like, we, you know, we're.
3 years or 4 years or, I'm not sure what.
Well,
It's temporary, so it's.
yeah, like if it's 3 years, that should give us oodles of time to have that finished.
We can do that as a provision, make it a 36 months with a provision that if you guys need to extend it, it can be, because obviously if the hospital's that far behind, we don't want to all of a sudden take away their camp.
Mhm. Yeah, no, we're fine with that, absolutely.
When is the construction supposed to be done for the hospital?
2016, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which month for 2016?
September, October?
Initially it was supposed to be August, I believe, it's supposed to be completed.
Yeah.
I know they're already behind, just by some stuff like, cement or something like that. I believe they're about 3 to 4 weeks behind. And, you know, like construction, you don't know, like, they're lucky now that it really hasn't been a whole lot of rain or anything to stop them, right? So once you get it to lockup stage, I think it goes fairly quick after that. The initial thing that you really gotta worry about, especially in construction, is the weather and, the delays caused by obviously rain, but they've gone past that stage now. So most of the stuff they can do once they have it locked up, I really can't anticipate them being that much further behind.
And then 36 months, that,
Will take us into 2017.
yeah,
Yeah, and that's fair.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, then that obviously that'll give you lots of time, and then with the provision, we can have it where if you guys need to extend it, then it can be extended, and then if it's done, then we can say, okay, you're done with this, and it comes out at this date.
Yeah, absolutely. Question I do have.
Yes.
Like after my, visit with, Vernon, and we were talking about for the manholes and stuff like that, and future development of that site. He suggested we go to the one that's closest to the hospital, so on my sketch, I don't know if you guys have the sketch on, we would be moving that camp a little further north, probably another 100 meters or so.
So that's this one right here.
Yeah.
What would that-
71.
What would that do on the map here? So that one will be right.
Oh, I
Where are we?
Sorry.
Side of town.
Right here. Here, this was this.
Oh, here, got it. Okay,
We're proposing putting it right here.
okay.
We're gonna move it up a little bit.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yeah,
That's still-
just cause there's a manhole right here.
Manhole there,
Yeah.
right.
So if I have to redo it, then that's not a problem.
That's right, okay, okay.
So you're moving from where?
So, no, here,
Yeah.
within I.
Be moving these two over here. Probably another 100 meters or so.
Yeah, Donna, can you see?
Yeah.
So it's still in the institutional
within
zone?
the-
Yeah, oh yeah,
Still
absolutely.
within I.
It's just to save on costs, like, cause once we stub it, then we just have to get rid of the trailer, but if we've gotta start digging underground, going another 100 meters, well.
This is the.
Right. Yeah, this is. Yeah. So we can see. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the.
Yeah, there you go. So we'll be the ones, about 100 meters, right? So Crystal, if you wanted me to revise that, I can,
Sure.
or,
Well, now that you have, if you get approval after this meeting, then you are automatically given your development permit.
okay,
And I'll do it up for you right now, but that's based on a 14-day appeal. So now people can appeal
okay,
your permit. So then we advertise your permit for 14 days.
okay,
If we get appeals, then we set up a subdivision and development appeals board meeting,
okay,
and we meet right after the 14 days is up. Their meeting is scheduled for that date. If we
Okay.
get appeals, if there's no appeals, you're free to go.
okay, so just make sure I'm only at 4:30.
You bet. Yeah. I'll keep my phone
Answer the
on.
phone.
Yeah.
Well, and that's good to know, then, you know, we'll just kinda, put this on hold for now, so we don't just kinda jump the gun, but we just assume, oh, not to go on. Like in Peavine, when we put something, you get a appeal, man, it's the next day, it's not on the 11th hour of the second week, that we right, so.
Yeah.
It was a little learning curve for us, so, obviously we have to cancel some things and things like that, so it costs us a bit of money, but we'll live with it.
The MGA, they've got timetables that need to be followed, and they're pretty
Mhm.
strict about that, and that's where the 2 weeks comes in. So, is it, Donna, do you have anything else you wanna add?
I think just to make the commission very, very clear, is that if there's any approval, it's not based on the parameters within I institution. You're looking at the various situation here, just to make sure that we're all on the same. It's something similar to something in I.
Yeah.
That would be your consideration.
And that's where the dormitory part comes in. Okay, now, where are we here? Okay, then I guess I will take a motion to accept the presentation as information for now, and then cause then we have to go through all this stuff, right, 2B?
Yeah, we don't need a
No.
motion.
We don't need a motion, oh, okay.
No, sorry, I put, because the package was full of stuff, there's
Okay.
only one RFD. The RFD is the development application, so you either approve the development application subject to its conditions,
Okay.
or you accept it for information.
Oh, okay, I see. Okay, well then I will entertain a motion.
No, but you're dealing with 2A, right, scheduled delegation.
Oh, no, yeah, but you can't make a motion out of scheduled
Exactly.
delegation.
So we have to make a motion out of scheduled delegation, so we'll go to 2B planning and go to the RFD.
Right.
Then the discussions.
Well, to get it on the table, then I'll entertain a motion to accept the first one here, the long one. That the MBC approved development permit 08/09/2014 with conditions that the developer obtains any other permits as required by Safety Coast Council. That the developer contacts Alberta One Call prior to construction to locate the utilities that run through the property. That the developer shall be responsible for obtaining their own assessment of soil conditions related to varying capacities and consolidation in relation to the proposed development, and the development shall be designed, constructed, and maintained in such a manner as to ensure the development safety and stability on the subject land. Services shall be constructed as per the utility service replacement policy. That a town employee oversees any tie-ins to municipal services, and that the town is notified 48 hours prior to connection to services. That drainage from foundation to curb and the slope of the yard follows town of Prairie municipal standards. Compliance with the town of Prairie land use bylaw 20/2005, and that the developer must satisfy the requirements, if any, made by Alberta Municipal Affairs, Safety Services in respect of building, electrical, gas, fire, and plumbing requirements, Alberta Health Services, Alberta Transportation, Alberta Environment, and any act or regulation pertinent to the development. Yes, sir.
And if we may add, subject to the letter from Peavine providing extra parking?
Yes. That's what I'm going into that. Right.
And you're gonna put in there for 36 months?
Yes. Is that a subject clause?
Should be. Well, it's part of his motion, yeah.
Yeah.
And the permit will be granted for 36
For
months.
36 months.
with possibility of extending.
If necessary. Alright, who wants to make that motion? Quiet, Ron.
I'll make that motion.
Excellent. Any discussion?